I think I might do that actually. Swap these ones around a little bit more, and then put the signals at the end. I'll settle for what I've got now, and if I want to change it in the future, I can. That's one of the advantages of this method. You do end up with lots of tracks next to each other, so you can start shifting things around if you want to. Okay. So with that in mind, we're now going to start working on the platforms on this side. And as I say, there's going to be a lot more of them. Almost as many actually as we have here. It's hard to put a number on it. Let's put it that way. It's very difficult to put a number on it because I still don't 100% know. But as I say, one of the great things to do here is to use these tracks as a guide as to just how much space we will actually end up having. So all of these get pulled in like this, and then this one goes up here, this one goes down here, get rid of that, and this one goes down here like that. Awesome. Right, that's 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one goes along like that. And then we trim those back a bit. And again, you end up with these platform lengths, so there'll be one platform that actually goes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's only 5 tiles long, but it will be a platform, and there will be trains that use it. The next one, of course, will be out here, and as you can see already, it's longer. And I think the next one after that will probably be the same length, and you get the idea. They'll all start fanning out a bit more. And then eventually they'll come to the point where they start fanning in again. Now how long is that? That there is 10. And I think there will be a good spot to have our railjet platforms. Here and here. Except we're going to name them properly, aren't we? Yes. Fort Hampton Parkway. There. There's a good spot for railjet. Something like that. And then again, because I've got the freedom, I can actually fill this entire bit here with platforms, some of which will actually be bay platforms. So like that. They won't ever... That's probably... Where's halfway? There. So there was the right spot. So that should be 4. That should be 4. Yeah, good. Okay. These are set up well. There we are. That will go across like that. There will be more crossovers as we go along. There'll be a couple of bays here, and then the rest of these will all be set up properly. So let's see, that's 5 to there. So that'll be like that, like that, like that, like that. We'll do the buffer stops a little bit later on, but that's good. And then that's 4 by 8 there. And that's pretty much going to be our station. I'll pop those in, make sure that nothing overlaps those tiles there. Therefore that has to come across like so. That one will come across like that anyway. These will all join up like this. We'll have another one that goes across like that. And then we'll put the sidings and stuff back in a second, because they'll all be connected up as well. Let's see, that will go across as far as there initially, and then it'll go across a little bit further like that, and then a little bit further like that. And all of these will connect up as you'd expect. And yeah, that already as a station looks so much better than it did before. Still not perfect. It's never going to be 100% exactly how I envisage it, because we can't do that, unfortunately. We are limited by the game. But it's a hell of a lot better than it was. I'm not afraid to admit that either. I think this already looks so much better than it was before, and I'm really happy with that. Let's just put in a couple more sort of little crossovers. Obviously this will all be filled in with tracks soon, so it won't matter too much how it ends up looking, but something a bit more like that. Or crossovers, that's always the answer. Right, so over here then there's going to be a whole series of sidings again. Industrial fixtures. So we'll use FHP sidings local north. Like that. Like so. We're actually going to get rid of this one here. Let's get rid of those, get rid of that. And this is going to slalom down. Actually, let's not do that. So just had another quick thought. Let's get rid of a couple more of these. Let's extend that by 2. So we'll cut this back by 2. And then again, that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And now here, I'm going to do something a little bit different to what we normally would. We're going to put that there like that. We're going to put that there like that. And we're going to put another set of sidings in. This one's only going to be 6 long. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're basically going to utilize more of this land, because we're going to end up with a huge gap otherwise. And then here we're going to have 2 depots instead of 1. Yep, we're going to have to do a little bit of demolition, but that's fine. I was expecting that anyway. And there's a little bit there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll put that one in as well, just as a 7th. That's a bit better. And the reason this has been left open like this is so that trains can travel in both directions through. That's perfect. Right, now obviously we're going to have to put a bit of a crossover in here. And we're probably going to have to put one in going like this as well. But again, as I'm going to keep saying, actually, throughout the majority of this series now, it's as you expect. Real life stations, if you look at a photo of Newcastle Central, how it used to look before they sort of simplified it a little bit more, it was an absolute cluster ton of rail tracks, just everywhere. So, why not replicate it, hey? Why not, indeed. Right. So not every platform at the moment is accessible from every other line, and that's fine, because that happens in the real world as well. A couple more of those will help. Links that side up a little bit more. Put a couple in here as well, I suppose. Put an extra one there, just because I can. I will reuse the existing waypoints, but I will use them under a different name, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. Very little of what I say makes sense at the moment. I can't get my words in order for some reason. You might have noticed that. It's why I keep going bleh halfway through a word. Can only apologise. Anyway, let's put some platforms in, shall we? So that's going to be that way. So that's going to be an island. So that's going to be probably smarter actually if I do it like this. And then this is going to be an island one here, which means this one is also going to go this way. Maybe I should do the island ones first. That's going to be an island. 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 And all of those are going to be islands like that. Yeah. Okay. And then over here, that's going to be an island. That's going to be an island. That's going to be an island. And those two are going to be islands. And then on this side, it's going to be like this. And that's the basics for that. So buffer stops are going to be that way, that way, that way, and that way. I feel like I'm messed up a little bit here. I suppose it doesn't help the fact that these are, well, this is an odd number platform. It'll be very short services using this. In fact, I think it will be services most likely coming from M4J Rail, although I'm saying that as if it's a thing. It probably isn't going to be that way at all. I've also just noticed I've messed this up slightly, so I'm going to fix it very quickly. Which does mean this now gets to be a tile longer. I'll fix that in a little bit. But I just feel like I'm taking a little bit more care this time in actually building this station, making sure it's a little bit more professionally done. Hopefully it shows. Fingers crossed. But yeah, if I keep putting in these island platforms all the way across, so I can see where the buffer stops go. And I am using the one with the lampposts in, because, I don't know, I just prefer the one with the lampposts in. Now, again, I have noticed that the platforms are all the same length. Well, they all stop at the same length over here, so I might change that as well. In a little bit, just for variety. Okay, so that's those done. And then here, obviously, as long as these need to be done, so that's that one there. Those ones there. These ones here. This little bit in the center here. And like that. And then like that. So that's going to be the overall shape of our station, and actually that looks so much nicer than it did before. That is a big improvement. And also, while I remember, let's do a quick drag and drop for that one. The only one that isn't a full length island platform, because obviously this is a short length island platform, that's why it doesn't count. But for the sake of it, I'll just do that as well. Right. That is that. So is that. That is that and that. That one is like that. That one is like that. These are both island platforms. And these are island platforms for the railjet, of course, and those two are island platforms. And there you go. But, as I say, we're going to trim some of these down a little bit as well. So, say those two get trimmed back a bit and that one gets trimmed back a bit, which means that the signals will move to there and there. Get rid of that and that. What is that? That's 6. I'm going to take that down to 5 actually. They both have to be there still. That's okay. I can think of something else to use that for. So put that there, put that there. I can think of something to put in this gap. Obviously we've got to put the City Connect line in as well, so I'll do that. Down in this little, whoops, wasn't supposed to be a trench. In this little gap here. Double platform. We'll fix that in a second. Yes, I'm definitely a lot happier with the shape of this now. Definitely. It looks a lot nicer. And I mean, we've got siding space over on this side as well, if we wish to use it, which we most likely will. So let's again trim all that back. Get rid of all this little bit here as well. It'll grow back, don't worry. Yeah, I feel like we don't have enough lines coming this way because of that, so we're going to pull this bit out as well. Let's see. If we have that one go right across like that. Those is the 3, and then let's grab the fixtures, that one. We'll do a lot of 7, let's say. And then that will come across like that. That will come across like that. And then there'll be another set of 3 there. And this will be another lot of 7 like that. That will come across. And that one will come in like this. That one will come in like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Just that other little extra little set of sidings. I really cannot talk today. What is going on? A couple more crossovers there, and I could throw in a couple more in this direction as well. This is something where it's a lot easier to actually let the trains come running through, and then I'll be able to see where we need more crossovers. For example, one like that makes a big difference, and I can extend that one out a little bit more then. In fact, if I take this one back a little bit and do that, and then we've also got crossovers here as well, which makes life easier. That one I'll end there as anyway. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Alright, we're nearly done with this actually. The only thing we've got to do now is link all these up. I'm just cutting these back so that they are like one tile away from the signal, so we can see where the waypoints will go, which helps with junction design. Helps a lot with junction design actually. I think it's like an unsung hero. Do those two like that. Okay, so this one here can actually come in one early, and then that'll come across like so. Over on this side, we'll have a big long one that comes across like this. That line will connect to it, that line will connect to it, all these lines will connect to it. I know I've just demolished and now I'm rebuilding again, but actually, as I said, it's a lot easier to judge where you can and can't build these lines across, just by following it like this. So here there'll be a line that comes in like this and goes across like that. Here there'll be one that goes like that and then steps across like so. Here there'll be one like that, and in fact we'll have that one keep going across, so there'll be a bit of an extended crossover here. Another big one like this. Where's my 4 tracks? They're over here. I can make this straight again, so let's get rid of that little bit of road. Nice straightforward approach down the hill into the station approach area. Basically all of these tracks have to link up like this. As you can see, some have to come across a little bit further than others. But there's nothing wrong with that, is there? Because the main station throat will actually be here, and there will be more sets of sidings that will be built, so actually it all totals up again. There'll be a big siding complex down on this southern side here. So let's get rid of all of that. And yeah, something like that works out fine. And there we are. So we'll do something a bit like this. Just for this section, and then we'll have, in fact, I need this to be a little bit further back. So how long is that? That's 9. That's actually good. That's about the right length. I'll trim it down a little bit again on this side. We're not going to do double sidings on this one because I think it's quite a big set that we've got here. I think one will do fine. One lot will do fine. 2, 3, 2, 3. In fact, I'll pop the gap there instead. There'll be a gap on the top and there'll be a gap on the bottom. I think that works out better. So let's see. That one will go down like that, which means that will go like there. This will go across, and then that will go across. That will go there. That one we might as well do that. That one will go there. Have a nice little step across like so. And that one will go there. So again, it's a little bit all over the place still. Might actually be able to sneak in another set of let's have a look. If I do that like that, that will obviously connect up there. If I connect those ones like that, as well as let's see, those 3 could probably go that way. These 3 will go this way. We might be able to fit something in here. It might not be that great, but it'll fit. That's one of the risks you take when you do something like this. Yeah, it's probably not going to work out. We might just leave it like that still though, just because it looks a bit unique. Right, I'm actually going to extend this set of platforms out again to the full 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do that. I'm going to pop those there. Actually, am I? No, I'm not. What am I doing? Let's take that back one again. Sorry, I know I'm messing around a little bit. But the reason I'm doing that is so that we can actually build. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. Like that. And then this will come straight down. Like this. So what we're actually doing here is connecting our City Connect cert lines up to the rest of the network. And that's quite important for something which I'm going to do probably in this episode actually. I wasn't originally going to, but I think now it will actually work out quite nicely. That's pretty much Fort Hampton rebuilt. There's not a great deal I would change. Maybe some of these platform lengths I would alter a little bit. As I say, cutting down a little bit like that. And, I mean, how long would that be if I did that? I mean, that's what, 5, 5, 5. Something like that. Just so that they're all different lengths again. Get rid of those. and then you get these extra little connection lines, a bit like that. There might even be room for some more sidings over here if we want them, but they're not compulsory. Let's see, if I was to do that, it could work out. Won't be accessible for all of the lines again, as you'd expect. But actually that could pan out. Just a little set here. Like that. And then, I might as well do it like that. One, two, three, four, five, six. Now this roadway here is going to stay for now. As I say, it's a placeholder. Keeps things where they should be, which is very handy to have. I'm also going to move that there so that you can access it from this platform still. Okay, right, now the difficult thing here is going to be which platform is going to be 1, which one's going to be 2, which one's going to be 3. That's the next thing we need to work out. Another thing we need to work out, of course, is they go like that. That one there, and then here we need that one. Okay, now I need non-track stations. And I can fit that there, but that's not really going to look good. I kind of can't use Eindhoven, because I've already used that as the a lot of these are quite disappointing. I don't really know what I want to put in this gap though, that's the thing. Because obviously it's a gap. You know, there's an on-track tiles. I could try and squeeze in some things here like trees. Something like that, and then that would be good. As a road coming in, because some of these will be goods platforms. Probably should have mentioned that earlier actually. Some of these are going to be goods platforms. And then there'll be a set of... Actually, no, I don't want that. But what I do want is this type, I think, to go there. Yeah, a little bit more of that in a second. That's definitely going to work. Okay, that's all good. I'm just looking here again. I think the railjet platform, this one at least, could do with another big crossover. Maybe connecting up there. So that they are separated. So there could be a train arriving in one platform and a train leaving in another at the same time. Just put some bike racks in. Suppose we could. Tile with eye candy. I love that because it really tells you what it is you're putting down. What have we got here? That's the one. A little ramp up to the platform there. That works out. Those ones are a bit boring. It's really tricky trying to find what to fill this with. You could do that. And then this, I suppose. So again, they're bike racks. If they're bike racks, what are these? Bike sheds. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's... works, doesn't it? Are any of these that have... No. Okay, well, that looks pretty good. As I say, it looks like there's a tunnel that goes underneath there, which is fantastic. That's pretty much what we want. Anyway, platform numbers. I think over here is going to be platform 1. just because the original platform 1 was over this side anyway, so that's quite good for me. Platform 2, obviously it's going to be next to platform 1. And already I'm sensing these platforms are a little too the same length for me, but for now I'm just going to leave it. That is something I can actually fix off camera. Where's platform 3? There it is. P3. P4 is right down the bottom.